everyone, Jenny Lynn here with you from Fusion Mineral Paint. Today we are going to talk about some fabulous, easy DIY built-in shelves. And these are floating shelves, they're really easy to do, but I kind of cheated a little bit, so I'll show you how I did it. I grabbed a couple of 2x6s and then I just put some brackets underneath, and I found some studs so that it's really super strong, and it looks like really expensive shelving. And this is just pine, bare pine 2x6s, knotty pine, and I wanted to sort of age it up and antique it a little bit. And you can see there's a couple of dents in the wood here, and that's going to pick up what we're going to be using, which is a stain, so that way it looks really old and used and rustic. So we're going to be using a beautiful all-in-one stain and finishing oil today, and we've got a giveaway going on, so I'm going to tell you about a couple of the colors that we've got in the range, and the question is going to be, what color would you do your piece with? Alright, so when you are working with fresh wood like this, you want to do a little bit of prep. Really super important. You want to get about 120 grit sandpaper, and you're going to want to give it a go all the way across, because what it's going to do is it's going to open up the pores and really take that stain, which is great. So it's a really great way to prep your surface for staining. So now, if you've got a hardwood that you're working with, you're going to want to also wet the wood first. And what that also does is, because hardwood it doesn't want to accept stain very easily, when you put the water on it, it opens the pores, and it makes it a little bit easier for the stain to be absorbed. But you want to wait about 2 hours after wetting your hard wood. You want to wet it, wipe it down after you've sanded it to open the pores, wait 2 hours. So all I did with this, 2x6 pine, a really light sanding with a 120 grit, and what we got here is our Homestead House all-in-one stain and finishing oil, and this color is driftwood. Really on trend right now, that really beautiful gray.
It looks quite watery. Is that something I should be concerned about?
So it's an all-natural sort of oil base. It's got a couple of different oils in there. And yeah, it's very watery, very thin. Most oil-based stains are. Now, the wonderful thing about this one is it doesn't have nasty chemicals in it, and it's really easy to use. So I'm literally going to throw it on, and then after about 10 minutes or so, you just wipe back the excess. Really super easy. Now you want to stain in the direction of the wood grain, so you can see the wood grain, the lines going this way. You want to go this way. You don't want to go back and forth against the grain. You always want to go with the grain. That's really important. And I'm using a really tiny brush right here just so I can get into some of the detail areas. I did also tape the walls off because you don't want to get the oil onto the walls. It may be difficult to repaint afterwards.
Probably would have done the staining prior to affixing them to the wall, but we didn't really know what look we were going for.
So here we go. You can see when I put the stain in here, it really soaks into those divots more. Look at those come out really cool.
You really notice that when you wipe it back, because the stain is going to sit into those little recessed areas of the wood.
So I'm putting a fair bit on. I really want it to soak in, and then I'm going to wipe back the excess. But this one little tiny container will cover so many pieces. You know, I'm barely going to make a dent in this container just by using it on these shelves. This little container is awesome.
So now, a long way.
If you're using this sort of stain and finishing oil, it has a very mild odor. You can barely smell anything, which is really nice. I know there's so many stains on the market that you have to watch out for because they've got really toxic dryers in it, and we use an odorless dryer in this. Lori can tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's an odorless mineral spirit, and there is a bit of a dryer in there. It's also known as a cicative, and the one that we use is a cobalt-free cicative. So this also, I just wanted to mention, this can, it's filled with very thin fluid, but most of that fluid is resin and oils and pigment. There's very little solvent in there. That's why it goes a long way.
Yeah. It actually goes as far as about a 1 liter size does for most other products that you find on the market. So you're using a lot less, but getting so much more coverage out of it.
And you're not too concerned with the brush marks at this point.
Not right now. It has quite a long open time. You don't typically want to start, stop, but I'm going to be wiping this back in a mere moment. If you were doing a really, really large tabletop, you've got a few minutes to let it sit there. It's supposed to sit for 10 to 15 minutes and then you wipe it back. But if you could go end to end and not have start and stop marks, that is always the ideal when you're painting or staining.
There's, because this is a soft wood, it will actually soak in very easily and very quickly. If it was a maple, I would definitely leave it on for about 15 minutes.
So all I'm going to do here is take a lint-free cloth and I'm going to wipe it back. We forgot to ask, where's everyone watching from today? We want to know, where are you? So here we go. As we take this back, you can see that really beautiful grain, and it's just absorbing the excess. There we go. Really nice and easy. Now, if you liked that finish as it was, you could leave it at one coat. It's really strong and waterproof and durable. You can use this on flooring. You can use it on wood walls. And the best surface to use this on is a bare wood surface. However, that being said, I have used it on many, many, many different pre-coated surfaces, and I've had excellent success with it. Even surfaces that I did not expect to work, like sort of a plastic type laminate. And again, I was experimenting and it just worked out so, so well. And you can really see those divots there and how it's soaked in. So there's your really beautiful, easy to do driftwood effect. And that's it. So that is really simple and straightforward. But what I wanted to do was layer another color on top because I wanted to go for a whitewashed driftwood look. So earlier on, I did this piece here. So you can see it's dried, and it's dried for a couple of hours now. It's very dry to the touch, very soaked in really well, which is great. But what I'm gonna do now is put a white wash over top of it. So remember, we have a giveaway happening, and the question was, what color would you use to do your built-in shelves? Or do you have any floors that you're thinking of doing, or tabletops? This all-in-one stain and finishing oil is made by Homestead House Paint Company, and our Fusion merchants have it all across North America for you. And it comes in 6 different colors. So there's ebony, which is like a beautiful jet black. There's cappuccino, which is a really nice rich dark brown. What I'm doing here is giving it a stir. So you want to make sure that you give it a nice stir because all the wonderful pigments might settle to the bottom. You give it a nice little stir there just to mix all that up. And there's a really nice flow to it. So I'm going to go ahead, and because I'm doing a bit of a whitewash driftwood effect, I'm not going to evenly apply it. I'm just going to kind of put it all over and then wipe back and get a bit of a streaky sort of finish. Again, I'm doing this on purpose. Kind of almost like a bit of a dry brush. So use a little bit more here. I wanted to have that multi two-tone sort of layered effect. All right, this is so easy to do. This is super durable, so I'm going to be using this as kind of like a coffee table for myself. My couch will be set right up to it, and as you can see in this room, there's a really strange divot that comes out in the wall, so I wanted to make a built-in shelf to use this space, so that way it's functional. And this, my couch sits sort of right up to it, and if I'm sitting there and I'm having a tea or coffee, or I want to put some books up here or charge my phone, I have somewhere to actually let things rest. Because I don't have a coffee table in my space. I have a young toddler, and all that sort of takes up my living room tends to be the toys. I'm sure you can all relate with this. So this is looking a little bit messy, sloppy. We're doing this on purpose because we're going to wipe it back, and it's going to be really awesome. Kind of want that sort of streakiness going on because I'm doing a driftwood whitewash, which is lovely. Okay, I'll do this here, but the coverage of it is so great. And if you're putting, you know, coffee cups or wine, this doesn't stain. You're not going to get the little ring marks, which is fabulous. Well, there are some different products. that you can buy in the market for cleaning, but you could use some warm soapy water and just wipe it down. But again, it's very, very durable. It's made for furniture and for flooring. We actually, has anyone here watching used it on their floors or on any of their furniture? Have you had a chance to try it yet? Again, it's just so lovely to work with because you don't have to worry about the toxic chemicals and smells. And it's super hard wearing and durable. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna grab my sort of lint-free cloth here. This happens to be an old pillowcase. I'm just gonna fold it up and get a nice sort of firm rag out of it. There we go. Perfect. And we're gonna wipe it back. All right, we wanna know what color would you do your pieces? There we go. Any questions? There we go, look at that.
Again, what product are you using?
Okay, so this is Homestead House All-in-One Stain and Finishing Oil. We distribute it across North America. You can get it from Fusion Mineral Paint retailers, Homestead House Milk Paint retailers. And there we go, it's just such a beautiful, easy finish. Apply and wipe back, apply and wipe back.
So where you want to see more of the gray, are you just applying more pressure there?
I'm applying pretty even pressure all over. I just want to get a nice sort of smooth finish on it. And I'm going to fold this over to get a nice new section.
All right, yeah, actually I can see the gray and the white coming in nicely.
There we go.
Ooh. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's a nice sort of driftwood, really easy to do. So I haven't wiped back over here yet, so I'll just do that and you can get a nice sort of close-up of it. There we go. Really simple though. You just want to wipe in the direction of the grain. There we go, just pulling it back. There we go. Very happy with this. I really wanted to keep the space light and bright, so I thought using this white all-in-one stain and finishing oil was going to give me a really nice overall light look. Check out these notches here. You can see, you know, it looks more aged and antiqued. Guess who did that? My toddler. My little one. And you know what? I love it. I kind of wish he had done more. Because I like the look of it being used. I don't love things that look brand new. It also makes it a little less stressful because when you have kids running around, if they should happen to, you know, knock anything or dirty anything, the older and more distressed it looks, the less worried you are about anything happening to it. So there we go. Really, really straightforward, easy to do. Again, this is the all-in-one stain and finishing oil by Homestead House Paint Company that manufactures milk paints and Fusion Mineral Paints. And it's available through Fusion Mineral Paint merchants and retailers across North America. As I'm just blending everything in here. And what you want to do is let it sit for a couple of hours, and then you want to lightly use it after about 6 to 9 hours once it sort of dries and such. I'm going to fill in some areas here at the back that I missed with the initial coat. So no big deal, just add that and kind of wipe back a little bit. Perfect. Now, if you wanted to, you could add another white wash, you know, in a couple of hours. Once it's dry, after about 2 to 3 hours, you can go ahead and add another coat. Totally up to you, what the look that you are going for and what you want. Again, really super straightforward and easy to use. So this is the all-in-one stain and finishing oil. If you missed it, and it's by Homestead House Paint Company. Again, if you are having any chemical sensitivities, it is so beautiful to use. There's almost no smell, and it's got a cobalt-free dryer. And tell us why that's important, a cobalt-free dryer. It means that it's much less harmful than some of the other dryers that are on the market.
A ton of different dryers on the market, and they contain, you know, these toxic metal salts, and you just don't want to expose yourself to them because, you know, they are cumulative. You're not going to react the first time you use it, but if you're going to be doing this type of furniture refinishing every other day,
it all adds
exposing
up,
yourself,
right?
yeah,
It
it's
all
not a
adds
good
up.
idea.
So there we go. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I'm going to keep touching up a little bit. Have we got a winner of who is going to walk away with one of these beautiful containers of the stain and finishing oil? The question was, what color would you use? We've got cappuccino, ebony, natural, which is a clear. So if you wanted to, you could always put an additional layer on here. If you didn't want to intensify the color anymore, but you wanted to add even more protection, you could add what's called natural or clear over top of it. It's really, really nice. So I think we've almost got a winner here.
No.
Not yet.
We're just cutting out. I've got Alicia as a first name, and the last name is
Thatcher. Alicia Thatcher is the winner.
Congratulations. So we're going to let this dry for about 3 to 6 hours, and we're going to gently, lightly use it after then. After about a day, regular, again, light use, and after a week, fully cured, good to go. If you want to dance on it, go for it. It's really, really hard and durable. You're not going to have to worry about water rings, your cups, etc. You can use it on your floor, you can use it on walls, you can use it on any sort of wood surface, which is beautiful. So if you're doing tabletops and you want a super hard wearing durable finish, this is a beautiful stain and finishing oil all in one combo, and it soaks in and it doesn't chip or peel away. Some of the other coatings that just sit on top of your surface, they are going to potentially chip or peel over time, and this actually soaks in and absorbs in and becomes part of the wood. So we're loving it. Anyhow, we've got our winner, Alicia. Yes, Alicia Thatcher. Yay, congratulations. So we will get you one of these containers of your choice. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We've got more DIYs coming up soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.